You are now tuning in to TRUENORTH.BET NFL NCAA football podcast, and I'm your host, Brandon Graham, and I'm pleased to be back, right back at it, back like I never left, into the mix with you all. Of course, last week I had a very successful weekend in the divisional round, pretty much cashing out on all of my bets. So pretty much, if you do want to know what's going to go on, you don't want to know exactly, who to pick, so on. So for just simply listen to me, because I know exactly what it is. From 8 to 4, last week was great. We had 8 teams. The Jacksonville Jaguars going up against Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs winning by a touchdown, 27-20. Jaguars had a chance, but of course, Patrick Mahomes, a high ankle sprain in that game. It was incredible to see him just gut it out and simply be a dog from the onset down in that game, right? 14 catches for Travis Kelce. He is the greatest or the best tight end in the league right now, bar none. The gap between him and Mark Andrews is immense. But, of course, now they're going on to play in their 5th consecutive AFC Championship game at home. It is incredible. They've just had a run, and they've won. So they're a team that can actually speak. They can talk trash if they really want to. But Andrew Reid and those guys usually keep it classy, and they're going into a game against, very soon, I'll let you know. And you should know at this point. But the New York Giants played against the Philadelphia Eagles in the divisional round. Eagles just took it to them. Jalen Hurts is back. It looks like he's 100%. Shot up some cortisone in that shoulder. Makes himself feel better. It wasn't his throwing shoulder in general, but even as a quarterback, you still want to have both shoulders intact because you're still holding the ball, you're running the ball, you're getting hit on it. So you want to be sure, you want to know if you're able to launch off of a certain platform, you have to have everything intact, right? And he dominated with Gainwell, of course, Miles Sanders. The running attack was just incredible from the onset. Boston Scott, they have 3 running backs that just gut you. Their offensive line is incredible with Lane Johnson, Jason Kelce, and the boys there. They're great room in general, some great rooms. But ultimately, in the AFC NFC Championship, I do believe we have the 4 best teams of the entire league. Exactly right now, peaking at the best time. On Sunday, we got a chance to see the Cincinnati Bengals go on against, or pretty much play against the Buffalo Bills, which is, I believe, the game of the year. Game of the year in the sense, but 2 matchups, 2 immovable objects coming towards each other, hitting each other at the same time. 2 teams that are trending upwards, but the Bills were showing some lapses. They're showing some points where they weren't necessarily too consistent. You could see that they didn't really have too many intermediate passes. It was more so, let's get the ball down the field to, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, intermediate a little bit, some, at times to Dawson Knox. They didn't really have the best running game. They had statistically the best running game in the entire league, but when you watch their game, they don't really rely on it too much. And teams that actually do end up winning are teams that can actually pound you, simply pound the rock and run the ball consistently. And you saw Devin Singletary, James Cook, Matt Breida especially didn't really have the best game running the ball. Defensive line of Hendrickson, of course, Sam Hubbard and company, they were just incredible from the start. Defense was incredible. Mike Hilton, Eli Apple, those boys just, of course, Bates, those boys are simply dogs, right? Von Bell there as well, another Ohio State alumni. Incredible defense, and I think they definitely catapulted their team into the finals there, BBC. Dallas Cowboys went up against the San Francisco 49ers, and they actually, it was really, really tough. They actually had a chance to win this game. Brock Purdy is a rookie starting for the San Francisco 49ers with George Kittle, McCaffrey. We have Eli Mitchell. You have a ridiculous running attack with Juszczyk and sort. Deebo Samuel can get in the backfield. They have weapons all over the place, especially as a receiver position with Brandon Ayuk and, of course, other guys too, Jennings. But they were being stopped. The defense of Dallas Cowboys actually stopped them for quite a long time, a period of the game. They did their part. Trevon Diggs. Of course, we had a multitude of guys on that defense played incredible, right? Micah Parsons, another guy, of course, should be defensive rookie of the year. As I said before the start, he should definitely receive that honor. But they ultimately end up losing to the San Francisco 49ers 19-12 because Dak Prescott gave up the ball in this game 2 times, only threw 1 touchdown, was very inefficient, 63.6 passer rating, didn't really have the best game in general. It looked as though he wasn't there, almost as though the moment was too big for him. And that's the reason why I believe that the Dallas Cowboys have to move on from Dak Prescott at some point. They have to move on. Many were saying that if they had Cooper Rush out there, they would win that game. To be honest, you didn't have to do too much. The only thing you need to do is not turn the ball. And you turn the ball twice, you're going to lose in a crucial game, especially in the divisional round for that particular game, right? It's pretty much the quarterfinals or semifinals of the the NFC Championship, right? So in conference. So it's one of those things where Dak Prescott doesn't necessarily play the best, and he costs his team the game. Not getting another touchdown out of it, was definitely brutal to see. But ultimately leads us to Championship Sunday, which I really wanted to speed through and get through. But Cincinnati Bengals going up against Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 2 points. Every game, every team is pretty much, it's very evenly matched because the home team is only favored by 2 points. Philadelphia Eagles are favored by 2.5 points. So it's really a gimme. It's really a pick-me game in general when it comes to these two teams. Which team would do you see breaking it? Which team do you see doing pretty well in these next two games? I'm going to start with the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals have dominated the Chiefs the past 3 outings, okay, that they've seen them. We have the game this year where they beat them. We have the game in the AFC Championship last year in Arrowhead. And then, of course, we have the season game they had in Cincinnati again and ended up losing, okay? We haven't really seen Cincinnati go to Kansas City and actually win convincingly or whatever point, but Joe Burrow is as poised as they come. He's battle tested. Once again, you could draw it back all the way to his high school career, becoming a great player, showing that he's a great player in high school. Then going to college, Ohio State University, not getting the job. Dwayne Haskins beats him out for that position. He transfers to LSU, doesn't play well in his first year, but then ends up having one of the best seasons of all time as a quarterback in his 19th season, or year 19, 2019, with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, who are at the pinnacle of the wide receiver position in the NFL right now. And that's without question, right? You have Devontae Adams, you have Jamar Chase, you have Justin Jefferson. Cincinnati Bengals ran ruckshaw on the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills were a team that could stop the run throughout the year. They had Ed Oliver there, didn't have Von Miller. Of course, you have Matt Milano, all-pro linebacker. You have Trey Edmonds. They were able to run the ball in the snow. And it looked as though the team that was favored in Buffalo could not stop them because Samaje Perine, Joe Mixon were able to run the ball consistently down their throats and gain yards on yards. They average 8 yards per carry. 8 yards per carry. If you average that, you should not lose a game. Doesn't matter what football game you are, CFL, NFL, NCAA. If you average 8 yards per carry, you should definitely win that game. Kansas City Chiefs going up against this team, especially with Patrick Mahomes coming off of that high ankle sprain. Usually high ankle sprains take around 3 to 4 weeks, even longer to fully recover. But he's been a dog. Of course, they probably put some cortisone in there. Cortisone is not good to put into an injured area simply because it can eat up some cartilage. But you know that he's been getting around the clock, rehab and around the clock care on that ankle to see, to be sure that he's good to go for Sunday's game. With that being said, Trey Hendricks is coming. Sam Hubbard's coming. This defense is coming. Jesse Bates is coming. Mike Hilton's coming. This defense and his defensive coordinator has been Coach Laminaga has done an incredible job putting everything together and having a game plan that will exploit their offense. If you really think about it, especially with Mecole Hardman not playing, you simply have Travis Kelce, then you have some receivers. You have Valdez Scantling. You have Juju Smith-Schuster. All right. You keep doing that, obviously McKinnon you have in that backfield. Isaiah Pacheco. You have weapons, but it's not complete without Mecole Hardman. You're going to be doubling Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce was not doubled last week against the Jaguars. At catch 8, you have to double that guy. He had 14 catches, 2 touchdowns. He just ran. He was just incredible against the Jaguars. They have to double Travis Kelce. Okay. Myself, as a longtime Cincinnati Bengals supporter, see this game being won by the Cincinnati Bengals. But one thing and one thing only is denying me from being very convicting with my pick. And it's the fact that Eli Apple, Mike Hilton, all these guys are calling it now Burrowhead. Chris Jones went on his interview and said, "Oh, Burrowhead. We see what they're saying. They're calling it Burrowhead rather than Arrowhead. Hey, we see what they're saying." Joe Burrow has won the last 2 games that they played in Arrowhead. I think he has the poise to do it again. But with all the trash talk that's going on, even the mayor of Cincinnati pretty much calling, Burrowhead, pretty much Joe Shiesty, the one that's going to win this game and knowing it as Burrowhead. I think all the trash talk is getting to their head. They haven't won a ship yet. They haven't won a Super Bowl yet. Kansas City has. Patrick Mahomes has. Travis Kelce has. Andy Reid has. Until you win, you should not be throwing this much trash talk around. You're getting them riled up. It's bulletin board material. It's something that you don't want to really give an appointment. And this team is giving it to them right there. Pretty much going out there gloating, this and that. After not winning, you just beat the Buffalo Bills. You have not beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship. You got to be consistent. I think they have everything that you need to win this game. I think they have everything to be successful with this particular game. Joe Burrow still being on his rookie contract is another reason why they're going to be very successful, right? Teams that get to this point with a quarterback usually have guys on their rookie contracts. They have a team that can set up, they can pay a lot of guys, and they have a balanced team which you can build around. When Joe Burrow gets paid next year, a lot of these guys are not going to be able to be fit into the cap. They'll not. So this is the year they have to go to the Super Bowl. They must win the Super Bowl, and I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals. But all the chitter chatter has to end. All the trash talk got to end because Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, those guys are listening. Those guys are going to go out there and be dogs from the start. That's going to be the game to watch. In the NFC Championship, we got the San Francisco 49ers going up against the Eagles. This is going to be a tough one. I think this is going to be both games are going to be incredibly competitive because I believe these are the top 4 teams in the league. Joe Burrow showed you last week of the reason why he's reigns supreme against Josh Allen. Josh Allen last year, I know a lot of people are the Monday morning quarterbacks, but Josh Allen still got he hasn't gone into the AFC Championship yet. Joe Burrow has twice. So he's proven that he can be there. He can get there. He's poised. He's calm. He's a champion. He's him. But in this game, the Philadelphia Eagles going up against the San Francisco 49ers, it's very, very tough because I believe in Brock Purdy. I believe in the George Kittle. I believe in these guys to go in there and do all of the run packages they have. They have the best formations when it comes to running the ball. They do a lot to confuse the defense. It will be tough to win in Philly, especially with Jalen Hurts, and I don't think Jalen Hurts is necessarily ready for a Super Bowl. I don't think Brock Purdy's ready either, but I think the San Francisco 49ers haven't been there before. They are ready. This is very tough. The Philadelphia Eagles are given 2.5 points. I think they have everything in their favor, being at home, so on and so forth. But I believe this ends in a heartbreak for the home team. I think Brock Purdy and those boys are going to go out there, run the ball effectively, get up early, score. I could be incredibly wrong. I could be super wrong about this. But Brock Purdy, if he turns over the ball and gets stymied by this defense, of course, it's going to be really tough. He's going to have to throw the ball because what they're going to do, the Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, they're going to have to stop the run. When they stop the run with those guys, especially Eli Mitchell, then you got to, the quarterback's got to do something. They've been able to run the ball effectively and still have Brock Purdy show up in big games. Kyle Shanahan is incredible with his game plans. He's been there before. Nick Sirianni's not been there before. Yes, I'm basing this on experience, but I think they have what it takes to win this game. They have what it takes to pull out tough victories. I think they have what it takes. The character guys there. Philly has it as well, too. They're going to be motivated. But I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers to win this game. I think they're poised. I think they're ready on defense. DeMeco Ryans does an incredible job moving those guys around to positions that, ultimately, for them to be successful, he does an incredible job there. This is incredibly tough. This is probably the hardest game I'm going to predict the entire year. But I'm rolling with the Niners. I'm rolling with both of the underdogs in this game, in this particular championship weekend. It's going to be really tough. I think Cincy has it all. I wouldn't be surprised if both of those games go the other way. But I'm rolling with the Cincinnati Bengals and the and the San Francisco 49ers. I'm rolling with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Niners to go on and be in the Super Bowl. And I ultimately think the Cincinnati Bengals will win the Super Bowl if they get through. That is my take. What is yours? You can let me know on TRUENORTH.BET. Let me know exactly what you feel, what you think. I simply wanted to get this out there so I can have my foreshadowing for this particular game, but Joe Burrow is ready. Of course, Patrick Mahomes is ready. You could ultimately even arguably say that the two best teams are the teams playing the AFC Championship game, which I believe is true. Well, not necessarily true, but I think that on offense, it's true. On defense, I think the Niners and the Eagles are the best defense in the entire league. I do not think that the Cincinnati Bengals have a better defense than those two, but they have a good defense. Number 3, but not top 2. So that's what we have. Those are my predictions. I'm BG Brandon Graham here for TRUENORTH.BET Podcast. You can find me on Instagram at at G_JB, on Twitter at G_JB. It is incredible. It's going to be a great weekend. It's going to be a great time for football. Football is life. You rolled me all this way of giving you my predictions. It was a great divisional weekend. Now, of course, we have the championship weekend. So let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. At any point, you let me know. I'll be there. And of course, understand to always keep balling. There, guys. Enjoy the weekend.